Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson again, and we are continuing our studies. This time we are rounding off to the nearest tenth. Okay, let's see what we got here. Got a little game I will start off with the kids with. We have $1.32. Is it closer to A, $1.30, or B, $1.40? Well, I think $1.30 because it sounds almost like that. $1.40, you need 8 more cents to get it, where here you only need just 2 cents to be away from $1.30. So I'm going to pick A. A is correct. Okay. Here's one for you to wait a minute. This is a little bit different. $1.57 is close to 1.5, $1.5, or B, $1.6. Well, that's different. I noticed they don't have the extra number at the end for the pennies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to really put it there myself. So yeah, let me just get a red color and put a 0 there. So that'll be, instead of $1.5, it'll be, really they're talking about $1.50. So that's what they're talking about there. So if that's $1.50, then this is 1.6, which would be $1.60. So sometimes they don't put the extra 0 there, and you have to put it there yourself to try to help yourself out to see what they're really talking about. Because sometimes you might get confused to think that this might be $1.05 or something different than what it should be. So always put an extra 0 at the end because you're allowed to. So now, is this $1.57 closer to $1.50 or closer to $1.60? Well, I notice I need 7 extra cents to get from $1.50 to get to $1.50, whereas I only need 3 cents to get to $1.60. So 3 cents is smaller, so I would go with B. It's closer to $1.60. So B is the correct answer for this one. So what we're doing is something we're talking about. Rounding off. We're making numbers simpler, but keeping its value close to what it was. The result is less accurate, but it's easier to use. For example, like 73, rounded to the nearest 10. Well, rounded to the nearest 10, you're counting by 10, so 70 would be what you're talking about, 70 or maybe 80 if you're counting by tens. But 73, if we round that off to the nearest 10, it'd be 70, because 73 is closer to 70 than it is to 80. So let's get some rules about rounding. So here's some place value chart that we should know first before we start talking about the rules. So you should know your place values. It's very important that you must memorize, and it starts from ones and works its way to the left, getting bigger and bigger. So ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, million, 10 millions, 100 millions. Notice they count by tens as they go up. So they're adding on a 0 when we look at each value. Ones, add another 0 to that, give you 10, add another 0 to 10, that'll give you hundreds. So they keep adding a 0 or multiplying by 10. This is another way we can look at it. Will give us the next place value. So the place value chart is really good to know. But I'm going to concentrate on the decimal place value chart. So we have our ones, tens, and hundreds over there, and there they are in the boxes located right there. But I'm going underneath where we were talking about money, as a matter of fact, dealing with those first two problems. So the decimal point has places underneath it. Now, we were talking about, say, the last one, which we had 50 and 60 cents, and we had to add the extra 0. Well, the 5 would have been in the tens place, or the dimes, or tenths. And we added that 0, which would have been in the hundreds place. So we have tenths, hundreds, and thousands. When we're talking about money, we only deal with, in America, tenths and hundredths. Other countries may use thousands place. So notice tenths is 1/10 or 0.1. 1/100th is 1/100th is 1 over 100 or 0.01, and 1/1000th is 1 over 1,000 or 0.001. Here's something interesting. If you write 10 backwards, 0, 1, and put a decimal point in between them, you'd have the tenths value. If you write 100 backwards, put a 0 between the first two digits, you'd have 0.01. If you write 1,000 backwards, put a decimal point between the first two digits, 0 and 0, you'd have the decimal equivalent of 1/1000. So that's interesting to know. All right, so now that we know our decimal place values, here's the rules that we need to concentrate on for rounding off to the nearest tenth. And it really is a general rule that'll apply, but I'll make another video for hundredths. So rounding off to the nearest hundredths. So locate the digit you want to round to. So we're talking about we're rounding to the nearest tenths. So go to the next digit, which is the hundredth, and if that digit is 5 or greater than 5, then increase the tenths digit by 1. So we're going to add on 1 to the tenths digit, and we're going to discard the numbers after that. So we're going to get rid of those numbers. So we'll see in our example. But if that digit in the hundredths place is not greater than 5, then discard all place values after the tens. So let's see. All right. Round off 5.378 to the nearest tenth. All right, so we're going to get our place value chart to help us out. So here's our decimal place value chart. We put 5 and 0.378 in there. And the first thing we have to do is find the tenths place. There's the tenths place circle that's right next to the decimal. So it's important to know your place values, tenths, hundredths, and thousands. So try to count by tens, but we're talking decimal. So notice they spell with a TH at the end, THS at the end. So we're going to now do our next step. So we found our tenths place. That's the one we want rounded. So we're going to look at the place right next to it, which is the hundredths place, to see if it's 5 or more. So if it is 5, great. But if it's more than 5, really great. Now I notice that's a 7. 7 is more than 5, so we're in great standing. So what we need to do is add 1 to the tenths column and cut off the rest of the items. So I'm going to cut off the 7A because I don't need that anymore. And I'm going to add 1 to the 3. So 3 plus 1 gives me 4. So in the tenths columns, I no longer have a 3. I have a 4 there because I rounded it off. Notice the 7 and 8 have disappeared, so they're no longer there. And I have 5.4, which is my answer. So my answer is going to be 5.4 when I round that off. So when 5.378 is rounded off to the nearest tenth, it really is 5.4. So that's how we round it. So I hope you enjoyed that. Here's one for you to try. So round off 9.0199 to the nearest tenth. Now, remember what we did? You might have to go back and watch the video, set up your place value chart, and hopefully you remember your steps. Okay? So check your understanding. I hope everything's going good for you. If you're not certain, go back and watch the video tutorial again and see how well you've done. Okay, here's another game I plan to play. Let's see if you can round it off. $2.57. Is it closer to 2.5? Hey, they don't have the extra number here at the end. Or is it closer to 2.6? So let me do like I did. I'm rounding off to the nearest tenth because there's no hundredth here. So I remember the rule is I go to the tenth place. Here it is, the 5, and I go next door to the hundredth place. And if it's 5 or more, I'm going to add 1 to the 5. And yes, that's a 7, so that is more than that. So I'm going to really add 1 to the 5. That'll give me 6, and get rid of the 7. So I'm going to go with 2.6, which is choice B. Okay? So I hope you watch your video and hope you're understanding it. And when, again, as I said, when you're talking decimals, keep in mind you are talking money. So don't let them scare you because they don't put the extra zero at the end. You write it at the end and count and see how many pennies is it, which is closer to it. Okay, so and $2.60 or $2.50. Well, this is just 3 cents away, so that's close. And from 2.50, that's 7 cents away. So I need extra 7 cents over here, and I need only 3 cents here. So that's closer because 3 cents is less than the 7 cents. So that's why it's B. So here's one more for you. $1.32, is that closer to A or B? And notice they don't have the zero there. You put it there and see if you can get it. All right, we've come down to the end. I hope you understand what's going on. We've explained as best as we could. So if you need extra help, there's Dollar Teacher Homework Helpline at 212-777-3380, Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Give them a call. They're very nice people. They'll help you out. There's also my YouTube study videos. You could check me out and check out some of our videos we have there. My channel name is Dan Robinson. Tweet me at drobmath1. You can check out our latest release that's called PKMS Math Prep 19. We're working on 20, and it's a very good movie. I think you'll really like it. Subscribe to our channel, write us, and let us know how we're doing or what we can do better to help you out. Give us a thumbs up on our video. If you want to study with me and you want more work or a worksheet on this topic, write me at robinsonmath@aol.com, and I'll be glad to send you something. Don't forget our show Math Prep 20. It's our latest release. It's coming out real soon, so look for it. So I hope you enjoyed our topic of rounding off to the nearest tenth. Remember, if you had a hard time with it, go back, watch the video again, and I hope you'll get it on the second time. This is Dr. Robinson signing off. Hope to see you real soon. Don't forget to write us. Bye-bye.